So I'm just taking a stroll along with the Deben, and I've just downloaded this app. It's really clever. So you can see what my front camera can see, and obviously really speaking to it. I thought it was quite nice. So I thought I'd do an update whilst I'm on my walk about the things that I've been doing on the planning and infrastructure bill. So, and I put forward a number of amendments, and one of those is would seek to require housing developers to make a legal requirement for them to plan in for nature when they're designing and building out house building. Really simple things like green roofs, but also just spaces and habitats for nature to exist and coexist with development. These are incredibly simple, but will be super important for wildlife. And I'm really grateful to the Suffolk Wildlife Trust for helping me to draft that amendment. And that's been submitted, and I'll be pushing forward on that. The second amendment is to make it a legal requirement for energy developers when they're developing in the same place, the same location, the same area, huge infrastructure projects that they coordinate and they work together to make sure that they are minimising or seeking to minimise the impact, the cumulative impact of those developments, and they're planning and coordinating them together. In Suffolk Coastal, it's a huge issue. We've got an estimated 25% of the UK's future energy being made or transported through this constituency if the plans that are being considered now go ahead. And the cumulative impact of those developments is that there's so many of them that are being planned, that the cumulative impact of them hasn't been assessed. And there's been no requirement for those energy developers to even work together in the design, work together in the planning for the build out that would all be happening at the same time. And it's all taking place in quite a small geography. So my amendment would seek to make it a legal requirement for those energy developers when they're developing large energy infrastructure projects to work together. The third amendment I've made is that when energy developers are laying underground cables, that they lay them to a minimum depth of 1.8 metres. Now that's really important because arable farming, when they have cables that are laid less than 1.8 metres, arable farming can't continue on that land. So it's really important for our food security that those cables are buried to a minimum of 1.8, and all too commonly they're not. All too commonly the energy developers lay them often to less than 1 metre, which means that land can no longer be used for farming, and even if it were returned to farmers after the cable's been laid, they can't actually use it for farming, and it just has to be left fallow, as it were. So that amendment will be really important in making sure that we can continue to have food security, but also support farmers where they are affected by energy infrastructure projects as well. So those are the amendments I've made. The next stage is committee stage, and I'll be pushing forward